What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy. Some. Hit the keys. And in today's video, I'm going to bring you guys 5 free saxophone libraries / VST plugins. I know that saxophones are like the hardest instrument to find on the internet, whether it's paid or free, at least a good one. So in this video, I got a few solid ones for you. And I also have an FLP file that has a bunch of effects to make these saxophones sound even better for you. Make sure if you guys like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. But let's go ahead and get right into these plugins. Some, hit the key. All right, guys, so this list isn't gonna go from worst to first or first to worst or in any particular order. I will let you know though that this first saxophone though, it is by far my favorite saxophone of them all. It's a decent sampler library. It's called Tenor Saxophone and it looks like this. So as you're looking at the plugin, you get control over the close, the mid, and the far room mics. You also can add a pad in there. You get control over tone and reverb, and it sounds like this. So that's, in my opinion, is the best of all the saxophones. And what's nice about this one as well is over here, you do have different noises that the saxophone makes. So you can make the valves open and all that other stuff. You can get all that extra noise that you actually get with a saxophone. I also want to show you guys right here. I'm going to make an FLP file of these right here, this chain. So all this stuff is free. Valhalla Supermassive is free. Cymatics Origin is free. Obviously, these are stock plugins. But if you add different plugins on, it can make your saxophone sound so much different. So this is what it sounded like with no effects. All right, but if we throw some effects on there, we can get it to sound like this. And with this FLP file, it's easy just to take the cymatics off if you don't want the crackling in the background. You can pull the delay back just a little bit if you want to, just like that, and it'll sound like this. So it makes it sound pretty solid. I'm gonna do one more thing for you guys with these saxophones too. I'm gonna play them in this sample beat just so that you can hear what they sound like in a beat with the effects on there as well. So this is the little sample beat I put together. It's not all the way mixed down. So that's a decent sounding saxophone in my personal opinion. I love it. I definitely recommend getting it. Decent Sampler is free and all the libraries are free as well. All right, guys. And the second free saxophone plugin I have for you guys today is by Phantom Team and it's called Saxophia. Saxophia looks like this. With this plugin, you can't get just Saxophia by itself anymore from Phantom Team, but I do have a link below from plugins for free where you can get this. And basically this one sounds like this to start. All right, so the only reason I played it like that initially is because it's gonna have that glide on there. So if you turn the portamento down a little bit or turn it off, it'll get rid of that glide for you. So with this one, there is 4 different saxophones that you can use between the alto, baritone, soprano, and tenor. So I'm gonna go through what they sound like and then I'll play it with the effects on there as well so you can hear what it sounds like because it makes a huge difference. Now let's go ahead and play it with some effects on there. Let me go ahead and lower this window for just one moment. Now we'll throw some effects on there and it's going to sound like this. So it sounds much better. Let's go ahead and check out what the soprano sounds like. The tenor is my favorite of all the saxophones in this plugin. So it's like night and day. Let's go ahead and listen to the tenor real quick. So let's go ahead and pull this back open. Boom. And then this one sounds like this. So now let's go ahead and listen to this real quick. And so then this is what it sounds like in the beat. So I'll just go ahead and play this first 8 bars. So again, as you can see, it is definitely usable in a beat. And then one thing that I definitely want to mention to you guys about this Saxophia is what's nice about Saxophia is that it has a ton of effects on deck. You have a lot of control over everything. You got everything from saturation, chorus, phaser, delay, reverb, tremolo. You can mess with the saturation over here. You have portamento, so you can make it bend. You can make it glide, all that other stuff. So very solid plugin. And the third free saxophone plugin that I have for you guys today is an oldie but a goodie. It's called DSK Saxophones. This saxophone plugin has a couple different saxophones. It has a tenor and it has a soprano. The soprano sounds like this. All right, so now let's go ahead and go over to the tenor. The tenor sounds like this. All right, but now once we throw some effects on there, let's go ahead and dial this delay back just a little bit. Take this back just a little bit too. And another thing to remember about a saxophone that's very important is that you change all your velocities. So you can randomize your velocities and it's going to change the way that the saxophone sounds, because with a saxophone, it's kind of like a guitar too, as in, or a piano, everything's not hitting at the same velocity. So a lot of times when you're making saxophone beats or beats with saxophone in them, if you're not messing with the velocity, that's going to hurt the way that the saxophone sounds as well. So again, it's not a bad saxophone plugin once you start adding effects to it and making it sound how you want it to sound. And coming up fourth on this list of free saxophones that I have for you guys today is the Iowa Alto Flute. Basically, when you open up the plugin, it's going to look like this, a very simple GUI. It only has a few different controls, but this saxophone sounds like this. All right, so now once we throw some effects on there though, it's going to sound like this. So as you can see, it sounds much different. I can't stress enough with all these saxophone plugins and a lot of plugins like this, like especially with saxophone plugins, they tend to sound plasticky. But once you start adding effects and fine tuning how you want them to sound, you can make these saxophone plugins sound pretty decent. And the fifth and final free saxophone that I have for you guys today is called DVS Saxophone. It looks like this. Again, another simple GUI. I know a lot of the GUIs on these are simple, but I can't stress enough, a good saxophone VST plugin is hard to find. So this one sounds like this. So now once we throw some effects on there, we can get this one to sound like this. So it sounds pretty good. It sounds definitely usable. All right, guys, so that's basically all the free saxophones that I have for you guys today. Hopefully I could help you out with maybe one or two of them that you can throw in your collection. I know for a fact that decent sampler tenor saxophone though should be in everybody's collection, because that's definitely the GOAT of all the free saxophone sample libraries in my personal opinion. Make sure if you guys like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
All right, guys and gals, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so every time a new video comes out, you can be the first to know. Let me know what tutorials you want to see next in the comments, and see you next time.
Some, hit the keys.